Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to World of Thunder Esports League and Ultimate Dirt TV special coverage of the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic presented by LSRTV. I am Zach Newton, currently joined in the booth by Brett Wheeler. We may be joined by Jerry Van Sickle of Boone Speedway here in just a little bit. He was having some technical difficulties, but with or without Jerry, Brett and I will take you through all the racing action of the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic, and what a night of action it's going to be. 4 25-lap showdown features replace your heat races after qualifying, then we run B mains, and then the 100-lap main event for $250. There's payouts all through the night, and I bring in my co-host Brett Wheeler. Brett, what an exciting night of racing that's about to come everybody's way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually looking forward to those heat races. Normally we only see 8-lap heat races here on Sunday night, but with 25-lap heat races, it's pretty much a mini main event for those guys, and there'll be plenty of time, plenty of opportunities for guys to come from the back and make those moves early on.
Absolutely, and come from the back they will. A full 60-car field here. That's a full server on iRacing. And 15 drivers in each one of those heat races. They really will be like small, kind of A-main type of racing action. The top 3 in those will pay out thanks to our sponsors. We'll get to those in just a few minutes as we get to qualifying. Qualifying presented by Bighorn Taxidermy this evening. For all your taxidermy needs, $25 to the fastest driver in the field tonight. And there are, again, 60 on screen. We see Stephen McMillian. I'm tickled pink about this, Brett.
Absolutely. It's not often that Steve gets an opportunity to race, and with us up here in the booth, it allows him to go out there and have some fun. So we'll see how he can actually play here on the super late models.
Yeah, it's again one of the head honchos of the World of Thunder Esports League here on iRacing. There you see him actually getting behind the wheel tonight. Are they 13-1-1-3? Not a bad lap. We'll have to see how it stacks up as we are about a minute into qualifying. So again, 2 qualifying laps. So you see Devin Morgan with a 12.456. So Steve's 13-1 not going to do it at this moment.
Again, we've still got a lot of heavy hitters to go out on the racetrack at the moment. There is Hayden Cardwell, probably one of the favourites coming in here into this Prairie Dirt Classic here on iRacing. Of course, presented by LSRTV. But again, you cannot count out those VLR guys, the Slick Sim Sports guys, and even the D1RT guys. I'm pretty sure I even seen Alex Bergeron's name in here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Alex Bergeron, the lone Canadian driver in the field this evening. You see Cardwell way down the timesheet with a 12.8 there his first lap. We'll have to see if he can pick that up. 4 tenths off almost the quick time. That's a little better out of him. Still almost 2 tenths off with a 12.630. Again, Blake Majulis goes to the top of the timesheet with a 12.364. That is haul and hammer on here. You see a lot of chalk there at the top. Blake Majulis, Devin Morgan, Davin Cardwell, Kendall Tucker. Haven't seen Kendall much this season in the World of Thunder. Good to see him here in the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League. Is Dylan Wilson now going to take time? Just about a minute left in qualifying, Brett, and you can see we've got some interesting names close to the top of the timesheet.
Yeah, absolutely. No surprises. Well, I guess the first surprise that I would see is Kyle Windsor with a 12.467. Not a name we regularly see here on Ultimate Dirt TV, but I'll tell you what, you see the likes of Majulis, Morgan, Cardwell, both Davin up there. Hayden's sitting at 19th quick, Blake Cannon inside the top 20, Hauser, Underwood. The list just goes on and on and on.
Absolutely. Certainly a star-studded field on hand for the Prairie Dirt Classic. There you see Alex Bergeron going to clock in at 12th quick in that number 12 Alex Bergeron Racing entry. Right there along the bottom in 3 and 4, slides up the racetrack down the front straightaway. And looks like he's going to stay right there at 12th quick, I think. I don't see him moving. He is not. A little slower. Just a couple thousand slower that second lap. But yeah, I think Mike Augustine, 9th quick, definitely a surprise there. We'll have to see if that holds up as qualifying ends and we get to our first 25-lap showdown feature. This one presented by Mimi's Makings in Motion. $25 to the winner, $15 to second, $10 to third. There you see your qualifying timesheet. Blake Majulis with a 12.364. Devin Morgan, Kyle Windsor, Dylan Yeager, and Davin Cardwell. The rest of your top 5 quick times. So that is a $25 check to Mr. Majulis already this evening. And he's going to line up and try to win 25 more as we get to the Mimi's Makings in Motion Showdown feature number 1. And on the pole, it is the 127 out of Asheville, New York. That is Blake Majulis to his outside for Drew Hopkins Racing. That's the 70 of Davin Cardwell.
Mike Augustine in car 72 will start out of position number 3 inside the second row, and he's outside the Victory Lane Racing. Car number 33, Evan C, position 4.
Tyler Ducharme in the 77 going to line up in 5th starting spot. Curtis Upoff in the 129, outside of him in 6th.
Position number 7 will be the $1 Million Motorsports number 11 machine, the Queen of Dirt, Jennifer Hunts. On her outside, AJ Alberetta in car 22, out of position number 8.
In 9th starting spot, it is Bad Brad Dyer in the 56 machine. Outside of him, it's Brett Rolls of Vanderpool Racing in the 17.
Position number 11, row 6, it's going to be Bobby Mattingly on his outside in car 24. That's Nicholas Weatherby.
Brandon Marlowe in the 37 will line up 13th in showdown feature number 1. Outside of him, rounding out row number 7 is Brent Evans in the 101 machine.
Oh, tell you what, quick time going to the man of Blake Majulis, Tia Moppett's boyfriend. And I told Tia that I would get that out one day because she was kind of, over the fact that she's known to as the Blake Majulis girlfriend. Well, tables have turned. Tia Moppett's boyfriend goes quick time tonight and picks up a bonus money for already going quick time in the heat race, qualifying. Sorry.
Absolutely, the Bighorn Taxidermy Quick Time Award to Majulis. Again, $25 richer he already is before we line up to go racing, and we are lined up indeed. It's Majulis and Cardwell on the front row, Evan C. and Mike Augustine making up row number 2 in this one. Evan C. in a Chris Ferguson paint scheme for tonight. That's definitely something I was a little caught off guard by, but there you see. Oh, no, he's to the outside there. He's in his, looks like his regular duds. I think that's Mike Augustine in a Chris Ferguson paint scheme this evening. But it is Majulis and Cardwell on the front row. Brett, take us to green.
All right, here we go. Heat race number 1, the Kentucky Dirt. Prairie Dirt Classic here, presented by LSRTV. Green flag goes out, and this is going to be a good 25-lap heat race. Yeah, you heard that right, 25 laps, as Majulis will lead down the back straight away. Look at Evan C. already going into 3rd, but Augustine going to come back to the inside. Lap number 1 is in the books, and right now it's going to be Blake Majulis.
A little bit of chaos on the start, but things start to calm themselves down as Majulis starts to check out to an early lead. Cardwell in 2nd, toting the left front down the back straightaway here at Fairbury American Legion Speedway. Evan C. still got his hands full with Mike Augustine right now. Evan C. running that slightly higher line, almost a short slider line through 1 and 2. He gets a run and clears for 3rd down the back straightaway. Cardwell all over Majulis as we work lap number 4.
Yeah, lap number 4 about to be in the books this time by Evan C. Mike Augustine having a good battle as Evan C. has the run on the top side. He'll come to the middle of the racetrack. Yellow flag is out first time tonight. I believe it's going to be Brent Evans in the 101 machine. We'll take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay and just take a look at what happened as the 25-3 wide just ran out of real estate there.
Yeah, I got pinched there down the front straightaway, pushed up, I believe, in front of that 25 machine. And that is all it takes here at Fairbury. It's known as a very racy track, and it certainly is, Brett, but it's not as wide as people think it is. It's a very small racing surface if you really get down to it.
Absolutely. I was actually a couple of days ago, I was actually doing some testing with the D1RT boys and girl, Tia and Blake and Jordan Mitchell, all those guys, and just trying to get around here in a super late model. Like I said, it's tight. There's not a whole lot of room, and that one little slip up can really cost you a position or two, even a couple of tenths.
Yeah, not a lot of room for error, and it's weird that it's kind of a momentum track in its own ways. We're back underway. Blake Majulis gets a great start. Cardwell going to try to find some real estate below him down there in the flat near those U tires. Nothing doing in that turn, but Cardwell not letting go just yet. Evan C. battling side by side again with Mike Augustine. Cardwell slips up the racetrack. They're 3 wide down the front straightaway for 2nd.
And that's something that can happen very easily. If your car gets tight, it can take a little bit to gather it back up. And you've seen that happen there with Davin Cardwell in caliber 70 now again. Augustine and Evan C. a good race for 3rd and 4th down into turn number 1 and 2. And you go back to Tyler Ducharme battling with Curtis Upoff and Jennifer Hunts, the Queen of Dirt. But again, out in front, Blake Majulis continues to lead. Our lap number 7 is in the book, still 18 remaining.
And it's easy to forget that these 25-lap races do function as heat races. The first one you're watching now, presented by Mimi's Makings in Motion. Top 4, I believe, transfer out of these. And we have B mains coming up too. So almost 250 laps of racing action coming at you from Fairbury American Legion Speedway this evening in the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic. It is Blake Majulis leading as we work lap number 10.
Working lap number 10 as Majulis opens up over a 1 second advantage. Davin Cardwell under some fire there from Evan C, but he got clear of him out of turn number 2 and down the back stretch. Front straightaway here, that'll complete 10 in the books, 15 remaining. Mike Augustine not giving up without a fight. Then you go back to Tyler Ducharme, Curtis Upoff as well, and Jennifer Hines. There's a three-way battle, but man, I gotta say, the 77 of Ducharme, he just looks a little unsettled at the moment.
Absolutely. Definitely got his hands full there with Curtis Upoff. Upoff running a low line around the speedway here and definitely making it work in that 129 machine. Ducharme running a slider line. Looks like in both corners, and definitely not the sort of calm, cool, and collected exterior we've seen from Ducharme as he gets into the wall in turn 2, and Upoff closes the gap right back into his hip pocket.
Well, again, it's going to be Blake Majulis. C. Cardwell, here he comes. Evan C. now to the top shelf. Slider line coming from Cardwell. Majulis continues to lead. The gap is now down to about 8-9 of a second. So while the boys are closing in on Majulis, you got to wonder, is he just starting to fade away? But you know, Blake Majulis, World Championship caliber driver, he's not going to give up without a fight.
Absolutely, Majulis is one of the best in the business, but he's about to have his handful with another of the best in the business as we see Cardwell and Evan C. They're going to trade sliders at either end. It's like a White Castle here in rural Illinois. Evan C. blinks just a little bit, but he's back with us, looking very sturdy, very fast. All right, and I've been joined, Jerry Van Sickle of Boone, Iowa fame, now with us. Jerry, good to have you on board. We're a little past halfway through the first showdown feature here at the Prairie Dirt Classic, and it's everything you think a race at Fairbury is going to be as Cardwell and Augustine collect each other, and we've got a caution flag. I'll give him 5. Jerry, not quite with us yet. Jumped the gun on that one. But, yeah, we've got a caution flag here. You can see this is the risk of these intersecting lines. Cardwell is going to run, I believe, the cut down because Evan C. was going to put the slider on him. And then Augustine comes in, puts the slider on. And there's a meeting of the minds in the middle of turns 1 and 2, Brett. Oh. And Brett's no longer with. I'm just alone, out here alone, talking to nobody. No,
that was just a racing deal. Yeah, Augustine obviously not expect Cardwell, to run that cut down line, and the pair just sort of met in the middle. And unfortunately for Mike Augustine, in that number 22 machine, was having such a good run in the heat race, and now he's going to have his work cut out for him. He left to come from the back of the bus.
Absolutely, got a long way to go in this one. Again, it is a racing deal. It's an unfortunate one. But yeah, we're going to get back to green flag. You see the pace truck pulls in off the back straightaway here. We are single file inside of 10 laps to go. Majulis leads. Cardwell does get his spot back, and he was in second at the end of that lap. We're going to have to see if he can hold on to it, because he's going to have his hands full with Evan C. here for about 7 more laps.
All right, Majulis continues to lead down the back straightaway. Cardwell riding in second position. C in third, and Tyler Ducharme, courtesy of Augustine, getting into the side of Davin Cardwell in 1 and 2 there a couple of laps ago. He's now going to be in that fourth position right now, this time by a handful of laps, waving. 5 laps left to run. You see the 127, Blake Majulis, Tia Moffat's boyfriend, out in front.
Tia Moffat's boyfriend leads this first showdown feature presented by Mimi's Makings in Motion. Cardwell and C look like they're going to maybe behave themselves here for these last few laps. I don't think C is quite close enough to contend just yet, but he may try to close the gap back in. Out in front, though, it's been all Blake Majulis. He's led all 25 laps so far and hasn't really seen a challenge from Cardwell, C, or anybody else.
He's just doing it comfortable out in front at the moment. And again, these 25-lap heat races, it's almost like a mini feature event for these guys, because we generally see with the World of Thunder Esports League, the super late models, they run a 40 or 50-lap main event. So you put 25-lap heat races, it's a little bit of a different style when it comes, and they can't just sort of go from the get-go. But man, you really start to see these drivers, the best of the best, coming out in the heat races. White flag is out 1 to go, Zach.
White flag is out, and it's been, again, all Blake Majulis. You really see the cream rise to the top, as you said, Brett, in this one. Majulis comfortably leading. He looks like he's got that thing wired, especially on this, a pretty green racetrack so far. Cardwell going to come home second. C And Ducharme gets the gift of all gifts from Mike Augustine. He will take that Ford transfer spot and move right on in to the Kentucky iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic.
All right, heat race number 1. Let's take a look at those results very quickly before we move into heat race number 2. Blake Majulis for D1RT Racing gets the win. Davin Cardwell second. Evan C for Victory Lane Racing in third. Tyler Ducharme in fourth. Curtis Upoff rounds out your top 5. Jennifer Hunt, Brad Dyer, Nicholas Weatherby, Brent Evans and AJ Alberetta in the top 10. Brett Rolls 11th, 12th. Bobby Mattingly, Brendan Marlowe in 13th, and Mike Augustine rounding out the 14 cars. Heat race number 1 is complete. Zach, heat number 2. Let's take a look at your Ultimate Dirt TV starting grid.
It's VLR's Devin Morgan on the pole for heat number 2, showdown feature number 2, presented by the World of Thunder Esports League. Shane James in the 3 will line up to his outside.
Starting position at number 3 is going to be car 79 of Blake Murray to his outside. The 25 of Zach McSwain, position 4.
Number 44, it's Blake the Loose Cannon out of Georgia for Swindell Speed Labs. Outside of him, it's Dustin Hall in the 311.
Justin Holt, the 31, will start position 7. Travis Creech from Ohio will start position number 8.
Nick Baum will line up in position number 9 in the 10. Full Throttle Performance Trevor Dixon Slinger lines up 10th in the 51. Keep an eye on him coming through the field.
Dalton DeRosa will start position number 11 to his outside. Robert Laughlin out of position number 12.
Brendan Weeks for the Mid-South Dirt Slingers will line up in position number 13 in car number 13. And shotgun on the field in showdown feature number 2, it's Stephen McMillian. Can't wait to see what Steve can do coming from shotgun on the field. There you see your front row, Devin Morgan of VLR, Shane James of HRE, both world championship caliber drivers. Morgan in more than one capacity, as he is both, I believe, an asphalt pro and a late model pro. And Jerry Van Sickle back with us just in time to get showdown feature number 2 underway, as we are on board with Stephen McMillian. This is already, oh no, Steve. Oh no, Steve. Oh dear. Yeah, let's get away from Steve and get to the 5-wide chaos up front for the lead. It's Devin Morgan. Looks like he's going to barely make it to the line in front of Shane James to lead lap number 1, but they're going to exchange the lead through 1 and 2. Shane James and Devin Morgan side by side down the back straightaway. The battle continues for the lead. They're 3 wide for third behind them. The field still hasn't really spread itself out just yet.
Things here at Falls are Jim Dandy. Watching up front is Shane James, Devin Morgan. What a battle for the lead. You got a battle for the first 2, 5, 6... I tell you what, from first to about 7th is still up for grabs. They're 3 and 4 wide, but this battle for first through 5th as we go to the caution flag, yellow on the racetrack.
That is Jerry Van Sickle joining me in the booth. Jerry, good to have you here. We go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay, and Robert Laughlin in the 53. Looks like somebody checked up in front of him. I don't think that's where the caution comes out. He's got some contact there. Can't quite see who that was. Dalton DeRosa, I believe, made contact with him. He's going to park there outside of turn number 3, and that will bring out our first yellow flag of the World of Thunder Esports League showdown feature number 2 here at the Prairie Dirt Classic.
You just let her come off the bottom and let it eat. Doesn't matter if that guy's on the outside.
No, you're going to run into another car. Oh, that's a good for you. That's going to cost.
Right
Brett Wheeler some money.
Yeah, right side romance is much applied here at Falls. I mean, it is Falls. You're going to have some contact, but that was crazy. As we get ready to go back to the green flag, it's Devin Morgan. Look at this. Sliders are coming down the back straightaway. The 112 of Morgan, your race leader, Dustin Hall. But look at this as we're immediately back to the yellow.
Yeah, I think Race Control wanted to pack the bunch back up and do that one again, because Shane James was just kind of coasting down the front stretch, wound up in about 5th by turn 1, and that seems a little problematic. So we're going to line them back up and do it again. I believe, Devin Morgan, your leader, as we work lap 5 in showdown feature number 2 here at the Prairie Dirt Classic. And again, Jerry, it's good to have you here with us. Very excited to be in the booth with you. Not often you get to share the booth with a legend, so it's good to have you here, man.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna say Wheeler's here every week. I mean, I just came along to play tonight. I mean,
well, you get kind of numb to Brett's greatness when you share the booth with him every week. You know,
you get numb to something with Wheeler. I'll tell you that.
Oh boy, we get ready to get back underway. The pace truck pulls in. Devin Morgan going to lead the field to green.
All right,
my body armor.
Yeah, here we go. Look at this. Wheeler James outside the old Bush Latte hot rod down into turn number 1 and 2. Still going to go back to that dogfight. 2 and 3 now 4 wide down the back straightaway. Here it falls. It will be Morgan, your race leader. James to the number 2 spot. Swanson's going to let her slide on up as they thunder down into turn number 1.
Absolutely. Shane James committed to the bottom around here. Devin Morgan committed to the high side, and he is hustling out there through turns 1 and 2. He's going to lead down the back straightaway. Blake Cannon is right there, and he is on the way to the front in that Swindell Speed Labs number 44. James, again, right down around the lower port of the racetrack, down there on the flat. Nothing doing so far. He's going to maybe lose second to Cannon, who's running that slightly higher line. McSwain's going to try to follow suit off the 4.
Blake Cannon will go to the outside, working on James, puts him back to the 3 car to the number 3 spot. Right behind him sits Zach McSwain, though. Watch the 50 car, which is the 25 on the wrap tonight. Off at turn number 4 and down the front straightaway, working lap number 10. You've got just 15 to go here in heat race number 2. Kind of unique format, 25 lappers, but look at this. Right side romance is applied. It's elbows up and hang on. They're getting into that old number 3 of Shane James as he's going to lose some spots, and now they're still going to use the right side for passing.
Absolutely. Crinkled Bush Light aluminum. Nothing new to most of us, I don't think. It's Devin Morgan out in front, but we're keeping an eye on Shane James back here battling with Blake Murray. That's the battle now for, I believe, for the 6th spot. There you see Dixon Slinger has made his way from 10th up to 5th. Top 4 will transfer out of this one. Everybody currently chasing Dustin Hall in that last transfer spot right now as James and Blake Murray are side by side. James again committed to the bottom here at the Fairbury American Legion Speedway, but I think, Jerry, the top may be the line to be on right now.
I always talk about that deep in the field, but you watch back up here as we go to that 3-way battle for the race lead. Of course, top 3 going to make top 4 going to the show here. Devin Morgan right there out front to 112 to 44. Cannon, McSwain, and Hall. They will go ahead top 3 breaking away. Now look at this crossover move out of McSwain. Is there anything there off the top through the slick of the middle? Not sure. Things are getting a little cowboyed up. Western there to the number 2 spot.
Absolutely. Those two battling as they both kind of get into the wall. Cannon can't get off out of turn 2. McSwain's going to have a moment. He's going to catch. There's a little bump developing over there in turn 3. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Cannon cuts underneath off of 4. They're side by side down the front straightaway. Give it to Cannon at the line. McSwain going to run the cut down line. He may have a run. It's a drag race down the back straightaway here at Fairbury in front of all the rowdy folks in the backstretch stands. Give it to McSwain, I think, or Cannon at the line. They're dead even.
This battle for second is shaping up to be good to the end. Look at this. Here comes White Castles. They're served. The drive-through is open here on an afternoon racetrack. It falls, and now they are served on back. Look at the crossover moves coming. Oh, doctor. They are going to throw them deep and sell them cheap here tonight as it's McSwain and Cannon battling for the runner-up spot.
Absolutely. It's like McSwain and Cannon went to the carry-out counter and got themselves a crave case because it's slider after slider after slider and no onion rings in sight. But give the advantage, the big advantage here to Devin Morgan as these two battle for second. We go, I believe, on board. That is with McSwain. You can see that out the driver's side, the front of that race car. You can see how much traveling that front wheel is doing and how much sawing on the wheel he's doing to get around Fairbury as the track starts to slick off. As we've got nearly 50 laps on this racetrack already and 2 more of these 25-lap races to go. And these two are locked in a mortal battle, Jerry.
Morgan's still out front, though. He's out there by it falls would be a country mile, about a half straightaway. Then it is McSwain, Cannon, and Slinger has now moved into that 4th and final transfer spot. But here we go for second once again. It is on like Donkey Kong, but look at this. It's now going to shape up for the final transfer spot. He was up front early. Here comes Shane James trying to dig and claw his way back into a transfer.
Shane James with just 2 to go. Is he going to run out of time? Can he get Slinger? All these questions and more will be answered as we get ready here at Falls for what's shaping up to be a dandy of a finish. The last transfer spot on the line. Morgan, McSwain, and Cannon pretty much behaving themselves now out in front. There you see Devin Morgan, who I believe has led pretty much every lap of this one. We're going to have a race to the line here, I believe. Here's Morgan through 3 and 4. He's going to get there comfortably. I don't think James is going to get there. It'll be close at the line. He does not. Dixon Slinger comes from 10th starting spot to take the final transfer. We'll go to your official results here in just 1 second. We get all the drivers in across the line.
As they finish that one up, 25 laps in the book. Taking a look. Beautiful overhead shot here at Fairbury. Of course, Devin Devin Moran, Zach McSwain, Blake Cannon, and Dixon Slinger. Your 4 transfer cars moving into tonight's main event.
Absolutely. Top 3 payout, 25 to the winner, 15 to second, 10 to third, 4 to the big show as we line up heat race number 3, relatively unknown. Kyle Windsor goes third quick. He's going to line up on the pole in the 88. Outside of him, it's the Kool-Aid man, Dylan Wilson, in the 80 out of California.
Going to run number 2, it's Jesse Wall out of the Carolinas. They're in the 483, and driving the Team VLR Hot Rod, it's the 46 of Ryan Underwood.
Bud Watson in the 25 going to line up in 5th. Outside of him, it's the 007 of Jacob Fields for D1RT out of Columbus, Indiana, going 6th.
Going to the Newton Cattle Farms Racing Machine. The 23 is Ethan Toder, and is outside driving also his teammate, the Newton Cattle Farm Racing Machine. That's Ben Crothermarsh in the 16.
BJ Duvall for Team Outlaw Motorsports lines up in 9th in the 32. Outside of him, it's all his fault, Jerry. It's Dustin Sizemore in the Speed Inc. $1 Million Motorsports, number 11.
Going to the 6th row to the inside, Justin Benningfield. Driving the 30, and the $1 Million Motorsport second entry of this heat race is James Grace in the 269.
Chad Marshall in the 57 and Billy Douglas round out the field for ML Performance Showdown feature number 3. Again, 25 laps the distance. Top 4 trains for top 3 make a little bit of money. 25 to the winner, 15 to second, 10 to third. But what you really want is track position in the big show, and Kyle Windsor on the pole, Dylan Wilson to the outside. Keep an eye on Underwood in position 4 and Jacob Fields in position 6. We're going to have a good time, Jerry. Here we go.
Getting ready for the green flag. It's already waving. We head on down into turn number 1 and 2, where it's going to be Kyle Windsor and Dylan Wilson battling for the lead. They're going to stretch their legs early in this one, trying to work the bottom and the top. Top 4 stacked on top of each other as we come to lap number 1.
Absolutely. Give it to Kyle Windsor, but just barely Dylan Wilson. Normally a catfish around the bottom. He's running the high side here at Fairbury and making it work up there. As the track starts to dry off, we've got 2 distinct racing grooves. You can see Underwood following Wilson there around the top of the racetrack. Short slider line from Underwood through 1 and 2. Wilson going to lead down the back straightaway as they work lap 3.
They'll hustle off at turn number 3 and 4. Top 2 remaining unchanged, but here back there for 4th is where it's going to get on. Watch this as Jesse Wall, the 483, has moved his way on into a transfer up to 3rd. Now into 4th. Now back is Bud Watson. Watson back there teeter-tottering that transfer spot as this is your battle, and nobody wants to come back and run a consolation later tonight.
Absolutely not. About 7 cars battling for 4 spots. You can see Ethan Toder in that all-black 23 machine. He is working around the bottom, and he has gotten to the inside of Jacob Fields. They're trading for that 6th spot. You've got Bud Watson in there. Jesse Wall, who started 3rd, starting to slip back just a little bit. Definitely want to keep an eye on that. Jacob Fields there in the 007 in the middle, squeezes Watson up the racetrack. There's some right-side romance for you, Jerry.
They'll use every part of that racetrack, every part of that car here at the old Fairbury. They'll work him on down into turn number 3 and 4. Here we go. First place right there, your leader, Dylan Wilson. Kind of got her sized up right now, trying to keep it up there. But look at this. Ryan Underwood's going to have company back there as they work him there. The 23 of Ethan Toder trying. He works the 7th spot. 5th, 6th, and 7th is up for grabs. Better starting spot in the consi later today.
Absolutely. You got to make track position count if you can't make it to the big show, which right now Kyle Windsor in that 88 is the last car in a transfer spot. Jacob Fields wants it. Ethan Toder wants it. Bud Watson gets squeezed back to 7th. He's kind of the loser on that deal, as now Toder and Jacob Fields both start giving chase to Windsor, and Jesse Wall is not out of the hornet's nest just yet either.
You can't count anybody out of these heat races here. The tight little bull ring at Fairbury. It's still Wilson, Underwood, Wall, and Windsor. Now Fields, Jacob Fields, look at this. Crossing over, sliding over, 3 deep and selling cheap to turn 1 and 2 we go. Keep an eye on him as they'll hustle on down that 88 of Kyle Windsor. He is the meat in a sandwich to the turn 3 and 4.
Absolutely not where you want to be here at Fairbury. Fields is getting a great run off the top. Toder gets a great run off the bottom that time. Give the 4th spot to him. Jacob Fields now going to battle back on the outside. Toder's in 4th. Now back to 5th as Fields gets another great run into 3 and 4. What a battle for this final transfer spot. Out front, Dylan Wilson by himself, but we can't take our eyes off the show back here for this last transfer spot, Jerry.
And that's what it is. It's a show. I mean, because if you ain't fourth or better, you are racing. Well, you're going to have to maybe race yourself a couple times to get into the 9A main as we go side by side. Still that 23 of Ethan Toder and Jesse Wall, the 483 up on the outside. They'll hustle down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4, working side by side for 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is your battle to turn 1 and 2.
Absolutely. These guys are putting on a show. Some great racing from Toder and Jacob Fields in that 007 machine for that final transfer spot. They've started to work their way away from Bud Watson back in 6th, and they're starting to lose ground to Jesse Wall in the 2. Wall starting to gain on Ryan Underwood just a little bit. Underwood running that radical cut-down line we've seen him use at Fairbury on a couple of occasions. Toder, though, has his hands full for that final transfer spot as he and Fields have traded back and forth at least a couple times every single lap around the Fairbury American Legion Speedway.
Yeah, you watch it right there as we'll get down into turn number 3 and 4. This thing has got character. 3 and 4, it's got character. Jacob Fields that time did not run through the rough stuff as he had been the last couple laps, and that'll let Toder work it there. Now Toder there, did not complete the order, and look at this. They're going to beat and bang and working off of turn number 4 as they hammered each other. This is going to open the door as they come on across. Look up under the skirt. Got all the way to the fun house, the 483 of Wall.
Yeah, this is Fairbury racing at its finest, and we get a caution flag with just a few laps. You got one parked up there against the wall. We'll go to the Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay, and it is Benningfield and BJ Duvall. They're going to tangle. There you see Benningfield in the 30, and he tries to put that car where there's just not space for it. And, BJ goes for a ride and parks up there on the turn 1 wall.
Can't park there, bud. Can't park there.
No,
just see it, as this place gets, she narrows up off of turn 4, and it's just, you're letting that thing slide, you're letting it eat, and just kind of gets there, and didn't know he was on the outside of him, I mean, just kind of like being outside unless that car's there. I've told guys for years, leave a lane around the outside because that guy's there, and if you don't, well, this is what happens. You Catch Fence did its job, kept these two in the park, and look at that, the 30 car able to drive away.
It's a tough break for BJ Duvall. He'll go to the pits. He'll have to earn his way in through a B main. Meanwhile, now we bunch the field back up with just 4 to go. It's Ryan Underwood in second, chasing Dylan Wilson. And now he's got a good chance to catch him, but he's going to have to deal with the challenge from Jesse Wall through turn 1. Underwood gets that high side hustle down the back straightaway. He and Wilson are going to battle. Underwood's going to throw a slider. It looks like he's going to see the veteran move from Wilson. Good cut down. Wilson going to hold on to the lead.
This thing is going to be elbows up as they hustle on down the back straightaway. Dylan Wilson and Ryan Underwood, they are going to change it. The first 2 spots. Now look at this. Slid it across the nose. Didn't make it work. And look at that. Underwood said, hey, check this out, bud. This is how this deal works. Off of 2 and down the back straightaway. Underwood. Now look at Watson. Watson there before the yellow was back in the 7th spot. Ethan Toder and Dylan Wilson. Now they will go ahead. They will size each other up. As look at this. You've got 7 cars battling for 2 on back as the white's out. And we're getting ready to come to the checkers. It's time to win it or wear it. Who's it going to be? Underwood, Toder, Wilson, Watson, your top 4. Holy cow.
Ethan Toder got the mother of all runs off of turn 4. They're 3 wide at the line for the 2nd spot, and give it to the young man from DeMossville, Kentucky. Ryan Underwood is your winner, not to take anything away from the finish there from Underwood. Ethan Toder comes home 2nd, Dylan Wilson 3rd, Bud Watson gets that 4th transfer spot. Jesse Wall going to come home in 5th. Boy, what a show that was from those drivers. Underwood, Toder, and Wilson going to make a little bit of money, and they're going to head on to the big show as we line up the final showdown feature presented by Team 126 Racing, and it's Dylan Yeager out of New Jersey on the pole. Kendall Tucker out of Carolina, the 00, lines up to his outside.
It's Alex Bergeron driving the 12 car out of our friends from the Northland, the old Canadian. Good to have him racing with us tonight. And Dylan Hauser from the great Sunshine State of Florida driving the Deuce.
Hayden Cardwell in the Kryptonite lines up in position number 5. Outside of him for the Mid-South Third Slingers, it's Corey Austin in the 92.
Going to run number 4, it's going to be Chase Hardy. They're in the 49, and Bo Krebs driving the Vanderpool Racing 68.
Throttle Down Motorsports entry number 45 for Jordan Gage lines up 9th. It's Goon Squad Racing Alex Robinson in the 42 lining up 10th.
Matthew Logan drives the 41, starts off in P11 and P12. Out of Illinois is going to be Ryan Lambie in the 1 double deuce.
Jacob Schmeyer in the 19 and 13th, and Corey Reese in the 55 will round out the final preliminary event for the Prairie Dirt Classic. The 4 showdown feature, again presented by Team 126 Racing, $25 to the winner. 15 to second, 10 to third. Kendall Tucker in that absolutely delightful Freddie Smith throwback here for this one. Keep an eye on him, Yeager, Bergeron, Hauser. There's a ton of names in the top probably half of this field, and we're going to have a show on our hands, Jerry. The green is out. Yeager gets a great start down into turn number 1, but the outside line has paid dividends for a number of drivers, and Tucker's going to get a great run to the bottom of 3. Slider coming. No, he's going to keep it around the bottom. Kendall Tucker going to take the lead on lap number 1.
Tucker will keep it there now. Yeager, Alex Bergeron, and Dylan Hauser. Hauser back there, putting Bergeron back to the number 4 spot. Top 4 going to break away. They're going to find themselves in a comfortable 4-car tussle for the top 4 spots. Top lanes there. Bottom is coming around. We're watching that bottom lane as they tug the tires, become quick. But look at this. Dylan Hauser, holy cow, has flipped the switch to beast mode. And all that for a caution.
Absolutely. Definitely Hauser building up a ton of momentum around the outside. We go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. You see Cardwell and Chase Hardy get tangled up. Matthew Logan involved. And you talk about places you can't park, Jerry. That's the nose of another guy's race car is going to be a problem. You can see Cardwell, I think, drove it in there, tried to woe it up. He may have hit it. Doesn't hit a tire. Hardy gets in there a little deep behind him. Cardwell hard on the brakes, and that's where the altercation starts, and it looks like it carries a pretty good chunk of the way down the back straightaway there.
Yeah, you see them. They
and there's where you run into the trouble. Cardwell pays it back, and that's when the caution comes out.
I knew there was going to be some retaliation somewhere. You just didn't know where it was going to happen. But
well,
yes,
you're going to have to see. Going to have to see. It looks like Hayden Cardwell has been parked. He is out after that incident, so that's going to be going to make a challenge for him as Tucker brings the field to the green. Looks like next time by, we're going to have one more lap around Fairbury here to get everybody settled. Let everybody get their ducks in a row, Jerry. But this one, so far, the heat racing action we've seen has been everything we thought it would be and more. And I think we're going to have some fun in the B mains before we get to the big 100-lapper here in just a little bit.
It is going to be on from the drop of the green of every race here, as it is down the front straightaway, like you said, the old bazooka machine. Kendall Tucker, now Yeager going to the outside, and that 48 machine will wrestle him on down. Hauser and Bergeron. Bergeron back there, the Canadian working the number 4 spot. Down the front straightaway. This one, excitement, maybe not as much as the first 3 heat races, as you're going to watch these guys. They're going to wait till the right time to start throwing those sliders and keep them moves coming.
Absolutely. We forget that it's a 25-lap heat race. You can't play your cards in the first 4 or 5 laps. You got to figure out this racetrack is going to change a little bit more. Again, 75 laps already on it, plus the 7 that we've now turned in this heat race. This track sees this much action on a regular night. In a whole night of racing, and here we're not even to the B mains yet. We've already got nearly 100 laps on this racetrack with these super late models. The track's starting to take rubber. You can see it blacking off. Pretty distinct 2 lanes right now. It's Kendall Tucker out in front, and Yeager and Hauser have now exchanged that 2nd spot. Hauser's got something working around the high side. Bergeron going to follow suit through 3 and 4. We'll see if he can catch Yeager and place him in the 4th spot.
I will watch it. You kind of got to wonder if the top and the bottom lanes are going to lock down here in this heat race. Like you said, pushing almost 90 laps on this racetrack so far in the heat of the sun. As they work them there, you see they'll grab that moisture off the bottom of the racetrack. That's Matthew Logan back there in the 5th spot, 1 out of a transfer looking in. Now Alex Bergeron going to take a look at that 48 machine of Dylan Yeager. Yeager around the top, burning whatever cushion is left as he'll rip the lip off of 2 and down the back straightaway.
There's obviously something there up top off of turn 2 because Yeager took off like a rocket down the back straightaway, and he's found something up top. Bergeron going to follow suit, but you can see Yeager gets into the wall there. You can see as we look at the front of our Canadian friend Alex Bergeron's car, you can see only carrying about 70 miles per hour down the straightaway here. He gets up to almost 80 there down the front straightaway. But you carry a lot more momentum around the high side, but the margin for error is small, and you can tell that from looking at Yeager's quarter panels. Kendall Tucker has started to get into lap traffic.
Those are there. Just had been beating that right rear on the crete just too much and has maybe bent something in the back of that car. Is now you see the 12 of Alex Bergeron. It's moved on into the number 3 spot. Bergeron going to work the top of the racetrack. You'll see it back to the inside. Dylan Yeager right there is now they will kind of tussle things around as they work down to turn number 3 and 4. Battle, will it shape for the lead? Not quite yet. Is there some gap between those two, first and second?
Absolutely. There you see it's Bergeron in third, Yeager in that final transfer spot. Kendall Tucker out in front by more than a second and a half and stretching it out over Hauser. Hauser makes some gains there, though. Tucker might have made a mistake because he just lost about half a second to lead through the turn. Maybe it's just the way that it closes up down the straightaway. You can see that Tucker's got his hands full with the lap car, the 122 machine, but he's going to dispose of him through turn 1 and 2. What a run around the bottom of the racetrack for Tucker, and now he slides up back to the cushion there off of turn 4. Kendall Tucker looking very comfortable out in front of this one. Dylan Hauser giving chase, but Hauser going to run short on time as we have about 6 laps to go. It'll be 5 next time by.
We'll see a handful, 5 in the air out of your starter stand as it is still Tucker, Hauser, Bergeron, Yeager, your top 4. Big trouble. Got one upside down hard, and that brings us to the caution flag here with 5 to go. Not sure the number of the car upside down, but looks like they got a hold of an implement tire down there in the bottom and had to shut things down.
That is the 5 machine there. Now we look at Matt Logan. That's Matt Logan for D1RT and the 41 ML Performance machine. And I'm not sure what happened. I think it unfolded in front of Logan. And he, nothing there so far. Maybe one more lap here. I just saw the car that I believe was upside down. I think it's the 19.
Yes.
There
it's right, it's right ahead of them. Your leaders were coming up on it.
There it is. Let's see what happened. No. Next lap.
Oh.
Next lap is what our producer's telling us. It's coming. Okay, he gets loose into turn 1 there in the slick around the bottom. He's toting the left front. And next lap is what Brett Wheeler in the production booth. Everybody, there you go.
Wheeler, did we go back to lap 1 of Heat 7 for this?
Here it is. Yeah, he just got loose. Gets collected by Matt Logan, and that'll bring out a caution flag. That's all it takes. Jacob Schmeer in the 19 will go to a B main. He'll have to get the backup car out after that one, and we are back underway. It's Kendall Tucker showing the pace here in this one. But he's going to have his hands full with Dylan Hauser and Alex Bergeron. A whole hornet's nest opening up behind him.
This time you'll be looking at 4 to go. It's still Tucker on out front. Watch the battle. It's going to be on for 4th as the field bunched up after this late race caution. Look at that, the 48 machine of Yeager. Yeager trying to slide it in there on Bergeron. Nothing to be had, though. Bergeron going to just let it drift to the top, grab that little bit of cushion up there on the top of turn 4, rappel himself down and stay in the 3rd spot, but this one going to wind on down here in just a handful of laps as Tucker still your leader.
Kendall Tucker is your leader. Keep an eye on that last transfer spot as Dylan Yeager's going to have to hold off Chase Hardy and Matt Logan. They're both closing in. There's a battle shaping up for 2nd. Looks like Yeager going to open a little gap up there on Hardy again to hold on to that final transfer spot. Hardy giving chase, though. White flag is out. Jerry, 1 to run.
You'll down the back straightaway. Final time, final heat race. Looking for our final 4 transfer cars that go directly to the A main. 100 lapper tonight. Kendall Tucker. Easy. Look at that. Hauser, Bergeron, and Yeager, your top 4 finishers here in your 4th and final heat race.
So we've already seen 100 laps of racing action. What a show it has been. And now we go, I believe, our first B main. Brett's going to have to confirm. You see your official Heat 4 results. It is Kendall Tucker, your winner. Dylan Hauser, Alex Bergeron finishing the money. Dylan Yeager finishes in that final transfer spot. Hardy, Logan, Reese, Austin, Lambie, Gage, Schmeer, Robinson, Krebs, and Cardwell will go to the B mains. And Brett, you'll have to confirm. I believe it is going to be 4 cars out of each of these. No, it is 2. 2 cars out of... Boy, this is going to get... 12 laps, top 2. Curtis Upoff on the pole for consolation race number 1. Jesse Wall in the 2 to his outside.
Going to row number 2 to the inside. It's Jennifer Hans driving the 11 for $1 Million Motorsports. And from New York, it's Kyle Windsor in the 88.
bad. Brad Dyer in the 56th, lining up in 5th, row number 3. Outside him, it's Newton Cattle Farms racing driver Ben Cowdermarsh in the 12.
We'll see Nicholas Weatherby in the 24 out of New York, and Jacob Fields, the 007 from Indiana.
Brent Evans in the 101, going to line up in 9th. It's all his fault for Speed Inc. and $1 Million Motorsports. That's Dustin Sizemore in the 11, lining up 10th.
Going to the P11 spot, that will be AJ Alberita out of New England in the 22, and James Grace in the 269.
Lining up in 13th, it's Brett Rouse for Vanderpool Racing in the 17. Outside of him, it's the 30 of Justin Benningfield in 14th.
Going to your 15th and 16th place starters out of the Mid-South region, that is Bobby Mattingly in the 29, and Billy Douglas from Ohio in the 81.
Last 3 starters making up this 19-car field. It's Brandon Marlowe in the 37 and BJ Duvall rounding out row 9, and Mike Augustine shotgun on the field in that Chris Ferguson number 22 entry. So 12 laps the distance, top 2 transfer. We're in for a show in this one as Curtis Uphoff going to bring him to the green flag, and we've got one guy climbing the U-tire off of turn 4. That's Brad Dyer. It's Jesse Wall out in front. We have folded up the field. Big trouble in turn 1. Caution flag already back out.
Caution out on this one early is everybody. They know they got to get there. And to get there, I mean, you got to hurry up and get through the field. So we'll see what happens on the restart. Beautiful start here. And then, well, here's your chain reaction. You see everybody, well, time out a minute. Might have been the 129 getting some help across the snoot. So the chain reaction comes after some, well, I would say questionable driving getting down into turn number 1.
Yeah, it looks like he gets hard on the brakes down in 1. You see Jennifer Hans is the car whose nose he ran across. I'm not really sure. She gets a great start. He does not. And yeah, she was to his inside, but she hadn't passed him at the line. So as far as I know, that's clean, Jerry. Not real sure who to blame for that other than Uphoff not looking out the driver's side window before he hung the left turn into 1. And it looks like Uphoff is going to go back to the front of the field. Not real sure what's happening here. This looks like a debacle.
Well, you'll have that at these here bigger events once in a while. So we'll see what race control has to say with that little bit of shenanigans that happened up front there.
Looks like a full restart, I believe, in this one. But Jennifer Hans now back in 10th. So not real sure what has happened. I'm also not sure if these caution laps are counting. You see the iRacing pace truck still on track there. We're up to lap 5 on the counter, or lap 4, now lap 5. But sometimes it resets if caution laps count or don't count. I'm not 100% sure if they are counting. We'll have to see as we get back to the green flag. Should be here, I believe, this time by, and it looks like Hans has been not given an EOL, but she's back in 9th. So I'm as confused as anybody, I think, Jerry. So we are back underway.
Well, that was me at like 5 o'clock this morning when I woke up. So I was like, what am I doing? But I know what I'm doing now. I'm announcing to be, a C main here as we work them on down. That 129 machine of Uphoff working down around the bottom side. Like we said, 4 is the magic number out of this one also. As they'll fan them off at turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. It is still Wall, Uphoff, Windsor, and Dyer to the caution.
And Jerry, it is 2 out of this one. I misspoke earlier.
I'm sorry.
So 12 laps, 2 cars out of a 20-car field. So these guys are going to be driving like they got something to prove here as we go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. And there you see Bobby Mattingly. Looks like he just got a little sideways on his own, but it was sideways enough, I think, to bring out the caution flag. And that's all it takes in this one. There's your caution flag. I was
going to say, if that was...
2.
I was going to say, if they threw the caution for that...
The iRaces, Billy Douglas gets sideways. He collects Benningfield over there in 1 and 2. The iRacing caution sensor is a fickle thing, and so if you get sideways for long enough and slow down long enough, it'll throw a caution flag out there. So we go to get ready to go back to racing action. You see Curtis Uphoff way back in the field now. Not sure what has happened there, but out in front now, Jesse Wall. We bunched the field back up. You can see Brad Dyer there in second, Weatherby, Windsor, Fields, Cowdermarsh, your top 6 drivers as we are back underway. They're 3 wide for the lead into turn 1. Fields going to go to the outside of Cowdermarsh now down the back straightaway. That's the battle for 5th. You got to get up through their top 2, transfer out of this one. What a battle we've got on hand, Jerry.
Remember the top two, only the rest of them, well, they're going to go, well, they're just going to sit in the server and watch the feature tonight. Down the back straightaway, Jesse Wall is your leader. The Windsor machine, Windsor coming up there to the number 2 spot. This is going to get on now. Contact down the front straightaway. Man, I tell you what, you've got a high-speed derby happening here in your C main working lap number 6. They'll work it on top there. It is Jesse Wall, your race leader. Windsor in the number 2 spot. Fields and Dyer are coming now. Fields up to second.
Fields and Windsor battle down the back straightaway. Fields gets a great run off at turn 2 to the high side, the 007 machine. Windsor, one of the only drivers in the top 5 running the low line. Everybody else has gone to the top side. Dyer going to follow suit around the bottom, but it seems like the top side is gaining momentum. Jacob Fields gets another great run into turn 3. Down the back straightaway, he's going to look to the high side. They come down the front straightaway. Gives second to Fields at the line. Jesse Wall leads in the 2 as we are under yellow once again in this B main.
Yellow flag coming out. We'll see a replay coming up here just momentarily to find out what happened. It's just as we say that, there it is. And deep in the field is where it's going to be at.
Absolutely. There you see the 101 machine. He's going to Brent Evans going to tangle with Benningfield, and they're going to climb the wall over there in turn 3. And that's going to bring out the caution flag. You got to keep all 4 wheels planted on the ground there.
That 30 car, I was just going to say, is either been hit or hit everything but the pace truck. But right back there, he ran into the pace truck as the pace truck came out. So the 30 car not having a stellar performance here as Justin Bedingfield struggling back there in the 30 car.
Absolutely. You hate to see it for the number 30 machine. Again, Justin Bedingfield struggling in this one. Meanwhile, out in front, though, what a show we've had out of Jesse Wall. Jacob Fields has now made his way into a transfer spot. This one, though, far from over as we go back to green flag racing with just 4 laps to go in this one. Wall leads as they get underway. Hopefully we can go green to the end of this one. Jacob Fields in second. He's going to get a good run to the outside of Windsor and pull right up into the hip pocket of the number 2 machine out in front. They're still side by side for second. We're not out of the woods just yet with 2 to go.
Prairie as they hurry down the back straightaway here at Fairbury. They'll work on down into turn number 3 to the yellow.
Yeah, once again, you hope it stays green. It does not. We are.
Did the flagman just grab the wrong flag? I mean, we're coming to the white. Let's hope we can see this one finished on up, and let's see.
Oh, the 22 just gets in there too deep, and Rolls gets spun out, and then Mattingly gets collected, and that's enough to bring out a yellow, unfortunately. And yeah, we're going to have a green-white checkered run to the finish in this one. And you hate to see it. Hoped we had stayed green there, but we're going to have to see what happens at the end of this one. Should be a good show coming right here with just the green-white checkered finish to go. And I believe we're going to be single file in this one.
They'll go to the single file with 2 laps to go. Wall and Fields right now sitting, well, I would like to say comfortably, but they're not. In the 1 and 2 spots, those final 2 transfer cars were those 2 transfer cars that will move on. As we get ready, green, white, checkered, run to the end, and you know it's elbows up and sleeves off. That right there, look at that. Traction broke by Fields. Back end of the car came out. Almost gave away that second spot. They'll hurry on down the back straightaway. Wall and Fields working 1 and 2. Now you see the 88 of Windsor climb the Crete down there on the back straightaway as we come to the final lap.
All right, here it is. First consolation race. White flag is waving for Jesse Wall and Jacob Fields. Fields maybe looking to the inside, might think better of it and be content to come home in that second and final transfer spot. He's going to try to maybe run down the front straightaway down the hill. He does not. It is Jesse Wall and Jacob Fields unofficially going to the Prairie Dirt Classic. Everybody else going to transfer to the trailer. And there you are. They're going to have to try again in the Falls Frenzy, the Pro Late Model Show, coming up just after this one. If you thought we were done at Fairbury after almost 250 laps of racing, well, you're dead wrong, because the Pro Lates are going to unload and do it again. As you see your official results now, it is Jesse Wall and Jacob Fields transferring. Windsor, Weatherby, and Augustine, your top 5. But unfortunately, everybody from Windsor all the way down to Brent Evans transfers to the trailer. They're going to have to try again. As you see this gorgeous helicopter shot of Fairbury, the bus over there in turn 2. as we line up your second and final consolation race. It's Dustin Hall on the pole in the 311. Outside of him, it's the Winchester Wildman out of Winchester, Virginia. That's Chase Hardy in the 49.
Run number 2, it's going to be Blake Murray in the 79 and Matthew Logan, the 41. Those drivers both racing out of the Carolinas.
Nick Baum in the 10 lines up 5th. Outside of him, row number 3, it's Corey Reese in the 55.
Going to run number 4 to the inside, it's Brennan Weeks from the Mid-South Dirt Slinger, entry number 13, and then also teammate driving for Mid-South Dirt Slingers. That's the 92 of Corey Austin.
Travis Creech in the 75, going to line up inside row number 5. Outside of him in the 122, it's Ryan Lambie out of Illinois.
From the Lone Star State of Tejas, that's Justin Holt, the 31, and Jordan Gage from the Throttle Down Motorsport Camp driving the 4-5.
Row number 7 is Dalton DeRozier in the 97, Jacob Schmeyer in the 19.
We'll see Shane James in the Old Bush Latte number 3 out of Indiana, and the Goon Squad Racing, Alex Robinson, entry 42, starting 16th.
Stephen McMillian and the $1 Million Motorsports 2M going to line up in 17th. Outside of him, it's Bo Krebs for Vanderpool Racing in the 68. As we are green, Robert Laughlin and Chad Marshall round out the field. This one underway. Tough to get through 20 cars in 2 short pace laps here at Fairbury. We did our best. We are already under yellow. Not real sure what happened there. You can see Chase Hardy and Dustin Hall battling for the lead, but the yellow flag is out. We're going to line them up and try again, I think, as we go to our UDTV instant replay. And there you see the, looks like... that's Bo Krebs there, and I'm not 100% sure what happened. Looks like the 42 lost the pace there in turn 1. Not real sure what happened. Boy, this is just a real mess of a thing here as we now go on board Bo Krebs, and still not seeing it.
I think I'm going to chalk this one up as just a bad start.
Let's say that's probably the safe bet.
That's what I'm going to... Yeah. Hang on, I'm gonna step over here into the virtual scoring booth and ask race director what happened. Yep, he has no idea either. So we're going with false start. So looking at that deal, I think the back half of the field would be. It was all a big quagmire. So they get everybody want to make sure that because there's only 2 that go, we want to make sure that you have got a fighting chance, and getting that fighting chance means you get a good start. Looking at this one, green comes out. Dustin Hall with a hole shot. They'll work on down into turn number 1 and 2. Chase Hardy, now Blake Murray. Murray is going to race it down to the bottom side of the racetrack into turn number 3 and 4. Remember, this is only top 2, 12 laps the distance, and second is up for grabs.
Absolutely. We're already 5 laps into this one. You can see Chase Hardy trying to run the outside, not going as smoothly as he'd hope. Unfortunately, Murray's going to slide up the racetrack in front of him to try to secure that second spot. The pace truck pulls onto the racetrack. We are under caution once again. Just 4 laps into this one, and already some good battling up front. But currently the class of this field, Dustin Hall out in front. We're seeing a great battle for that final transfer spot between Murray and Chase Hardy shaping up as we go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. It's the 42 machine back there. And Bo Krebs, will they tangle? Looks like Krebs is going to blink a little bit. That's never what you want to see. Connectivity issues. There's the trouble. It's the 19 and the 53, and it looks like the 22 back there. Jacob Schmeyer involved in that altercation. He is going to park it for the evening. What to keep an eye on back there, though, right around the bottom of the racetrack, you see Shane James narrowly avoids all of that mess. He keeps his march to the front going. Unfortunately, he's got a long way to go with just 2 transfer spots out of this B main.
That's what we take there is, like we said, everybody getting up over the ute tires down there on the bottom of turn number 1 and 2. As we get ready to go back to the green flag off of turn number 4, it's going to be Dustin Hall, the 311. Working up there off of the bottom of the racetrack. Now watch the 79 machine. Here comes Hall and Murray. They are going to duke it out for first and second, but it is on. It looks like a handful of them getting together down in turn 4.
Absolutely. A whole bunch of guys coming to this party as Murray and Hall go side by side. Interesting to me is that Hall fired well before the orange mark. You see they're delineating the starter box over in turn number 4. Race control does nothing about it. We stay green now halfway home. This time by Blake Murray has taken the lead. Chase Hardy starts hunting for that final transfer spot around the high side. He's got a little bit of distance between himself and Dustin Hall to get into the show. We're going to have to keep an eye on that, Jerry, as Blake Murray's starting to drive away down the back straightaway.
Blake Murray looking for that cushion of comfort as he's looking to throw his feet up on the coffee table and just relax in this one and keep that thing on out front. Dustin Hall to the number 2 spot. Chase Hardy is going to give chase back there, as now he's going to slip the grip, and that's going to let Matthew Logan come to the inside. Logan downstairs. You see it looking there. Chase Hardy getting aggressive through the midsection of the racetrack in the 41 or the 49 machine.
Yeah, you can see him. He's stuck up there. The top has started to slick off, and you can see him trying to make it work. We're back under yellow again. That's going to help Hardy out. Is this going to close the gap between himself, Logan, and Hall? And if you're Dustin Hall and Blake Murray, you did not want to see that caution flag.
No. So we'll see what happens. Like we said, laps coming down here quickly as we go to the replay here.
It is Stephen McMillian in the 2M. We'll see if we can find it here on our replay. He caught the U tire. The tire wins every time.
Yes. Tugged the tire, just tickled him down there. And sometimes it's not funny when you tickle the tire. The tire doesn't laugh.
No, the tire kicks is what the tire does. You tickle that tire down there, and it goes poorly for you. So we bunch the field back up. We go double file on this restart. Just a couple laps to go. It is Blake Murray leading Dustin Hall there, but keep an eye on Baum, Logan, and Hardy. There's a whole bunch of sharks back there that would love nothing more than to pick off one of those 2 transfer spots. Murray and Hall have them. Everybody else wants them. We're back underway.
They'll work on down into turn number 1 and 2. Look at this. Here comes that 41 machine of Matthew Logan. Logan is trying for the number 2 spot. We'll get 3 deep down into turn number 3. Oh, on the bike goes the 311 of Dustin Hall as they work him on down. He pedaled her back on an all 4, but that is going to do that. Now look at that. Retaliation is set in. Says, hey, check this out. I can use the right side, and that's going to turn the 41 around, and he is going to be shoved out of a spot.
Well, this is a whole mess, but tiptoeing around the outside into that second spot is the Winchester Wildman Chase Hardy, but he's not out of the woods yet. The white flag goes. Blake Murray out in front. He's going to take the win. Hardy protects the bottom. It looks like he is going to get into the show. Shane James going to come 1 spot short of the Prairie Dirt Classic. Made the run from almost the tail end of the field to come home third. What a shame to charge all the way through the field and get that close. But Chase Hardy stayed calm, cool, and collected as Logan and Hall tangled around the bottom. And now we get ready. They're going to run a 5-minute warm-up and run the field in. As you see your official results, it is Blake Murray and Chase Hardy, the Prairie Dirt Classic. Jerry James, 1 spot short. Everybody else from James on down transfer to the trailer. They've got the Falls Frenzy coming up in the Pro Late Models, another $250 to win race, part of our special evening here at Fairbury. We're going to throw it to commercial here for just a couple minutes as they run the track in. We'll see you back here for the starting lineups of the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic right after this on Ultimate Dirt TV.
at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. High above the Fairbury American Legion Speedway in Fairbury, Illinois, I am Zach Newton, Jerry Van Sickle with you as we get ready to set the field for the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic. $250 to the winner of this one, and an opportunity for another $250 and $100 bonus if they can win the Falls Frenzy coming up in just a few minutes. On the pole for this one, it is Tia Moppert's boyfriend in the 127 out of Asheville, New York. That's D1RT's Blake Majulis. Outside of him for VLR, it's the 112 of Devin Morgan.
Go on to run number 2. It's going to be Ryan Underwood driving the Team VLR 46, and Kendall Tucker out of the Carolinas in the double lot.
Drew Hopkins Racing, number 70 entry. It's Davin Cardwell lines up 5th. Outside of him, it's Zach McSwain in the 25 out of Carolina.
We'll go to row number next, which is 4, which is Ethan Toter, driving the Newton Cattle Farms Racing 23, and out of Florida, it's Dylan Hauser in the deuce.
Evan C. for VLR in the 33, going to start 9th. Keep an eye on him. He'll charge through the field in this 100-lap A main. Blake Cannon out of Georgia in the 44 for Swindell Speed Labs lines up 10th.
Drivers rolling off in row 6, we'll see Dylan Wilson, the 80 car out of the Carolinas, and from Canada, it's Alex Bergeron in the 12 car.
13th, Tyler Ducharme in the 77 for Slick Sim Sports. Outside of him, it's Full Throttle Performance, Dixon Slinger in the 51.
We will be going to the next row. That is going to see Bud Watson starting 15th in the 25, and Dylan Yeager from New Jersey in the 48 car.
Jesse Wall in the 2, the first B main winner. Outside of him, it's the 79 of Blake Murray out of Carolina, winner of B main number 2.
10th row starter is going to see Jacob Fields in the 007 from Indiana, and from the Virginias, it's Chase Hardy in the 49.
No surprise, Brett Wheeler picking Blake Majulis. Jerry, if you're in for picking, I'll let you go. I'll let you go second in this one.
I'm going north of the border. I'm going to take Bergeron.
Going to take Bergeron. Looks like Ryan Underwood did not make the grid. Dixon Slinger also going to miss the grid in this one. Not sure what has happened there. North of the border, he takes Bergeron. We line up the field. I'm taking Kendall Tucker in that Freddie Smith paint scheme. We've got 100 laps coming at you in this one. And we're going to do the 4 wide salute. So you're going to see the best. Jerry, you got a 4 wide ready? Because I sure don't.
Oh, no, I didn't even know we were going to do it. So let's see what we can do here for it. Okay. Here at the Fairbury Speed Plant, the old Falls, you see the field working their way down the back straightaway, working into that 4-wide formation. This is their salute to you, the race fans. Race fans, you've asked for the best, you'll get them. 4 abreast here at Fairbury. Give them a nice round of applause. It is time, Kentucky Dirt Racing League 100-lap A main event.
Oh, there it is. Man, that's how you know Jerry's a legend. You just say, Jerry, cue something up, and he's ready to go. So you see him 4 wide.
I was stumbling a little bit on that. I wasn't sure if I could have thrown the old Johnny Gibson at him or something, but I threw whatever. They're still 4 wide. They wanted to. Let's start them 4 wide. I've always said that. We start them 3 wide at Super Nationals. Why can't we just, it's virtual. Why can't we just try 4 wide one time? And you know why you can't, Zach? Because they'd all end up on the bus in turn 2 because they couldn't handle it.
Yeah, somebody, Fairbury of all places, I don't think he could. There's probably a couple places you could handle the 4 wide start. There is the bus camera. There you see off turn 2.
I like the bus camera.
We should use the bus cam more often. The bus is one of, I think, the iconic things about Fairbury. Of course, Fairbury known for the backstretch. All the rowdies on the backstretch. We're going to bunch the field up and get ready to go in this one. The 4 wide is done. The pace laps are done. The pace truck is off. The belts are tight. We're going to go 100 laps of elbows up. It's Fairbury. It's the big show. Majulis and Morgan on the front row. Keep an eye on Cardwell and Tucker there behind them. And we are green. Start already questionable down the front straightaway. Majulis waited a lot later than he normally does. Tucker going to beat on the door. He's going to go to the meat and the sandwiches. Morgan has a bad turn 2. They're 3 wide for second. Cardwell slides up the racetrack. Morgan follows him. Morgan cuts down. He's going to battle Cardwell for second as they work through lap number 1.
Devin Cardwell up to the number 2 spot. Then you see Devin Morgan, Kendall Tucker, and Ethan Toner. That's your top 5. They'll hurry on down the front straightaway. 2 and 3 wide. They'll fan them on out down into turn number 1 and 2. Watch the 23 car. Only car to go to the bottom. Of course, they did rework the racetrack before this 100-lapper. Put a little work on it. You saw him working that thing in during the warm-up session. But it's Blake Majulis on out front. Of course, he was the inaugural World of Outlaws late model champion on the virtual series as he works that machine up front, your race leader.
Majulis looking very strong early. No surprise there. You can see there's Zach McSwain. We go back a little bit through the field. He's battling Evan C. Now for that 7th spot. McSwain gets a hellacious run down the back straightaway. See around the bottom. McSwain around the top. Again, we're not really sure what happened with Underwood and Dixon Slinger. It's still Blake Majulis out in front. Cardwell holding on to second. Morgan, Toter, and Tucker, your top 5.
They'll work him on down the back straightaway into turn number 3 and 4. Watch that 33 machine of Evan C. Evan C. working back there in front of Zach McSwain as they thunder on down into turn number 1 and 2. Now you see it. Bergeron married deep in the field on this one. Back there with the 25 of Bud Watson. Dylan Yeager back there. Tyler Duchesne back there also as they work him down off of turn 2 and past the back stretchers.
What a show you're seeing in this one already. Look at Ethan Toter now up there. He's caught Devin Morgan for 3rd. It's Cardwell in 2nd. He's chasing Majulis. Tucker now in 5th comfortably. Dylan Hauser going to go to the bottom of the racetrack on Evan C. He's caught him. That's the battle for 6th now. Definitely some good racing. Evan C. definitely going to let the track come to him. He's not going to rush. He's going to move that car into 6th down the back straightaway. Can he hold the spot as they race off of turn 4? Slider coming. Hauser crosses him over. It's a drag race down the front straightaway.
You watch that top lane starting to dirty up. They're going to have to get a handful of drivers up there and clean that thing off if they wanted to come back to where it was in those heat races and B mains as they hustle on down the front straightaway. That 33 machine of Evan C. into the number 6 spot. They chase down Kendall Tucker. Now look at this. Dylan Hauser. McSwain is coming there. They'll work him down into turn number 3 and 4. What a battle in the early runnings. His 5th on back is up for grabs.
We've ticked off 14 laps now in this one. This time by it. It's been all Blake Majulis so far. Cardwell still in 2nd. Morgan and Toter now doing battle for 3rd. Toter driving the race of his life in what I believe might be one of his first crown jewel races. He's up to 3rd right now. He's got a podium spot. He just passed Devin Morgan, who's one of the greats here on iRacing, dirt and asphalt both. Toter moves up to 3rd. He's got a show going in this one.
Devin Morgan there, like you said, around the outside, and the 112 machine going to put it back up there, going to try to work that top of the racetrack as he has got the 23 down on the inside of Devin Morgan and Ethan Toder. Toder right there to the bottom, Morgan on the outside. It'll be Toder crossing it on down around the bottom side. Look at this, man. They are going to let it eat as the caution comes out.
You know, turn 4 here at Fairbury, you come actually uphill out of the bottoms there in turn 4. You come uphill onto the front straightaway, and that doesn't seem to be hurting Ethan Toder at all as he is committed to the bottom. As there you see Kendall Tucker, my pick, not what you want to see, and he and Evan C tangle just a little bit. Cannon gets into C, and C goes around there, and that's going to bring out the first caution of the Prairie Dirt Classic here as we work, I believe, closing in on 20 laps of this one. So a nice green flag run to start out. As you look there, Ethan Toder in third, chasing Davin Cardwell and Blake Majulis. Currently your top 3. Morgan and Tucker will round out the top 5.
We'll watch and see how this one shapes up. Like we said, working here on lap 22, as I do believe the caution flags do count. Caution laps do count, if I remember. No, they do not. Nope. Not on the that's I forgot on the tight little bull rings. We let them race it out the 100 lapper. So Majulis, Cardwell, Toder, Morgan, Hauser, Tucker, Wilson, McSwain, Yeager, and now taking a look as everything changes up there. That's your top 8 as we get ready to go back to the green flag. Zach, they'll work into turn number 3 and 4. Majulis drops the moneymaker. Loud pedal to the floor, and we go green flag.
Majulis is the king of restarts here on iRacing. He gets a great one. He's got Cardwell, though, in his rearview mirror. Or if these cars had rearview mirrors, he's got Cardwell over the back end of it. It is Ethan Toder in third. Kendall Tucker now up to 4th. He and Devin Morgan have swapped spots. Morgan going to look to the bottom for 4th down the back straightaway. Toder in sole possession of 3rd, chasing Cardwell and Majulis. Big slider coming from Tucker, though. We'll see if he can make it stick. That time by, he cannot.
You got to watch these slide jobs here early in this one, is you don't want to use your equipment up too early, as we are working close to 1/4 of a way through this 100 lapper as they hustle down the front straightaway. Ethan Toder there, the 112 machine of Morgan gets hustled on back, and then you see the 00 of Tucker. Tucker still holding his own there on the number 3 spot, but look at this. You've got him too deep. 5 rows back into turn 1 and 2.
Absolutely great battling all over the racetrack. It's Tucker and Toder for 3rd, and then Wilson now has made his way up here. He's battling with VLR's Devin Morgan. That is for 5th. Out in front, though, still Blake Majulis. Cardwell sitting nicely in 2nd, but out in front right now, it's all Blake Majulis. It's been all Blake Majulis for all 23 laps.
So they work him on around as we hustle him. Things are going to be to the top of the racetrack right now. It's still Toder working down there on the bottom side, the 112 of Devin Morgan. Morgan, like you said, having a great run tonight here in the Supers as he hustles back there into the number 4 spot. Toder working in behind him, and then you count Dylan Hauser. Hauser, don't count him out, as Bud Watson, McSwain, and Yeager, your top 10, as they still continue side by side down the back straightaway.
So I've gotten word from Race Control that Underwood and Slinger, I believe, lost connection. They did not make the grid, so that answers that question. Underwood had a top 5 starting spot, and you can see he is right down there at the bottom of the leaderboard, currently in 19th. It is Blake Majulis out in front still. He's pulling away from Cardwell, trying to run away and hide with this one. Toder has dropped back to 7th. It is Cardwell. Now Morgan has caught Cardwell. The battle for 2nd is afoot as we are, again, too deep, almost all the way through the field. Here comes Yeager to make it 3 wide now back there for that 7th and 8th spot.
You see it right there getting into turn 1 and 2. They have cleaned that top lane out. You see the 2 distinct lanes of racing. And then there is that moisture right through the midsection of the racetrack. That is going to come into play later on this one. They'll work off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway, the 00. Now look at this. Here comes the 112 with Devin Morgan. Morgan working on Davin Cardwell. Cardwell to the outside. Watch the battle down into turn number 1 and 2. Davin Cardwell, you've got company down the back straightaway. Cardwell and Morgan going to swap back and forth. Haymakers being served. White Castles are on the buffet table.
Absolutely. The steam table is full of sliders. Morgan and Cardwell trading them. every end of Fairbury. Everybody's getting a show. Turn 1 and 2, 3 and 4. The folks over on the bus having the time of their life. And right now it's Devin Morgan. Cardwell gets a great run through the cut down line with the veteran move. He's going to go to the inside now, slide up the racetrack. Morgan cuts down through 4. Give it to Cardwell at the line, but just barely. Morgan edges him as they get down the front straightaway and into 1 and 2. Morgan clear for the first time in I think probably 5 or 6 laps. He's going to hold on to second. He's going to start chasing down Blake Majulis, who's way out in front.
Majulis way out there, like you said, trying to keep things at where he wants, right up front. But here comes that 70 machine of Davin Cardwell. Cardwell back there. Now he's the meat and the sandwich between that battle for the 2 spot. As Morgan, Cardwell, Wilson, Tucker, that's your top 5. Off of 2 and down the back straightaway here at Fairbury. It is that 70 machine of Davin Cardwell, and he has got the 80 of Dylan Wilson right there to the spoiler as they work down into turn number 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's a 3-way dance as we get a yellow flag for third. And if you're Devin Morgan, you're happy to see the yellow because it's going to reel Majulis back in for you. Morgan is hauling ham here at Fairbury as Evan C. looks like he may have been involved in his second caution flag of this one as Tyler Ducharme is going to help him around into turn 4. And there you see he spins in front of Jacob Fields. He collects him, gets Yeager just a little bit. That is unfortunate. It happened right in front of Blake Majulis. Majulis able to sort it out before getting around there, but the caution does come out, and this is going to bunch the field back up. It's going to get spicy here, Jerry.
Yes, it got spicy there. Of course, my good buddy Zach Heidebrink, he had Bergeron in the pool to try to win this deal, and that wreck just happened right in front of him, so he was able to, looks like, grab a couple spots, but sitting back there in the 13th position. As Majulis still your leader. Going to get ready to stack these cars up side by side as we are just on the heels of the cross sticks to the halfway point as the caution light looks to go out. Next time, waving it off. TM Oppen watching their better half of the 127 team. Seeing what probably down there, she's standing by the bus, got the sticks out, telling him where to go and what to do.
Yeah, Tia definitely on the sticks for this one, and definitely giving all the instruction that Blake Majulis has needed so far to lead every lap. But as we get this field bunched back up here and get ready to turn these ponies loose once again, he is going to have his hands full because Dylan Wilson is there, Davin Cardwell still around, and Devin Morgan has made his way to second. And Morgan was maybe, I believe, the fastest car on the racetrack before our second yellow came out just a moment ago. And you can see as Morgan gets a great run through 1 and 2. He gets into the wall just a little bit off of turn 2. As he gets into the character over there in 3 and 4, we're going to see if he can get that same run off of turn 4. It looks like he can. Majulis is not out of the woods yet off this restart. Tucker now to the inside. Tucker down the bottom. He's got a great run in that 00 machine. Don't count him out just yet. Wilson and Morgan tangle just a little bit, and that's going to cost Morgan some spots. And keep an eye on that. We'll see if there's some more contact coming there as Ethan Toder charging around the bottom. He and Hauser are going to touch. There is Hauser and Morgan make a little contact. They're beating and door banging. It's elbows up at Fairbury, and the sliders are on the steam table. They're starting to heat up, Jerry.
Man, I tell you what, that thing back there for about 8th on back looked like instead of being the old frenzy, it was the Eva destruction as hard as they were racing each other. Look at this. Big crossovers coming. We're going to fan them out 3 wide down to the bottom side of turn number 1 and 2. Devin Morgan, you've got company. You've got him 3 wide behind you. Ethan Toder right there in the 23. Look at this. They're now going to try to fan it 4 wide off of turn number 4.
By Chase Hardy rolling the bottom like Scott Bloomquist or Shannon Babb at Fairbury. He's gone from 20th up to 10th. He's passed half the field already, and I don't think he's quite done yet. He's got something figured out around the bottom of the racetrack, as do Toder and Morgan. Morgan going to slide up the racetrack into the middle. He's going to look to be the meat in the sandwich, but Hauser going to get a good run off. They're going to go side by side. You see the 70 of Davin Cardwell, the 2 of Hauser, the 23 of Toder. This is absolute madness as we've got a change for the lead. Kendall Tucker has taken the lead.
Tucker now to the race lead as we come to the halfway point, this time down the front straightaway. Tucker had been sizing him up and finally got around Majulis down the tires where there's still a little bit of moisture. Like we said, the back half of this one as the caution comes out. We'll get a replay on that. And I probably think we need to see a replay on that pass for the lead, as that was textbook as we go back to the caution. Back there behind Cardwell. Stack them up too wide.
Like Hauser gets into the wall. Ooh, Morgan runs up the... Boy, we've got all kinds of stuff going on. Evan C. involved again. And Morgan ran up the wall. You got... looked like... I couldn't see who made contact there with Devin Morgan to send him up the wall. Here's our pass for the lead.
Pass for the lead. Majulis there will... Yeah, we'll get the production truck run that back about another lap, because you'd watched the 00 sizing him up. You see it right down here, working the bottom. Like you said, just rolls that bottom, lets it slide up, and there is that moisture right there through the midsection, and watch back to the tires. Tickling on him, not getting into him, and right there down the back straightaway was able to get forward drive out of that 00 and then steal and snipe the lane from Blake Majulis, as there was the pass off of 4 for the race lead, and that right there could be the winning pass of the day. But 49 laps left to go. There's a lot of movers and shakers coming through the field.
Just 45 into this one. It took me a long time to get used to this. You got to take 5 off the total because of the 5 for the 4-wide salute. We're back underway, and it is Kendall Tucker leading Blake Majulis. We're going to have to keep an eye on that battle. Dylan Wilson has gotten to the bottom of the racetrack. That's where he likes to let that 80 machine eat. The Mimi's Makings in Motion D1RT entry. He slides up the racetrack. It opens the door for Ethan Toder. Ethan Toder to the bottom again. Toder driving the race of his life, and Chase Hardy has now made it from shotgun on the field into the top 5. The kid is eating around the bottom, Jerry. What a show from Hardy.
You see your leader that Kev Tucker had got to the bottom. You know, some of these guys are watching, they're reading the racetrack, and that's what you've got to do. Speaking of reading, everybody's reading this battle for 4th on back, as it's Chase Hardy. Hardy now back to the 6th spot. Look at that. 4 wide off of 2. Now back into 3 wide race formation. Down into turn number 3. Cardwell through the rumbles and stumbles in that 70 car. You've got them stacked up. A pair of them on the bike deep in the field. And we're going to see this one come back to the yeller.
Now we are halfway. We cross lap number 50 as the yellow flag comes out. We go to our Ultimate Dirt TV instant replay. There you see Bergeron, Jacob Fields. And Jacob Fields is the car we're on board with for the replay. Cannon slides up the racetrack a little bit. Murray gets into Fields. Evan C. collects Jacob Fields. Devin Morgan all the way in the back now after he gets the he gets an EOL there, as does Dylan Hauser. That's going to be something to watch. A lot of talent deep in the field, and Kendall Tucker still leading. Again, as we work past halfway under yellow in the Prairie Dirt Classic. I believe our 4th caution?
4th yellow of this 100 lapper as laps winding out. Yeah, you know, I kind of get messed up on that timing and scoring loop too, so I do apologize on that. I didn't know that on that one that we were adding to subtract, and
there's math.
Yeah, I didn't really. I mean, I know 2 and 2 is 4, but the rest of it, 7 and 9 is, I think, 16. So it's kind of hard for me sometimes to add numbers together. Yes. 10 plus 9 is 21.
There you see Blake Murray stopped over there waiting to get back in line. We saw Ryan Underwood has joined the grid. His internet issues have been taken care of. He shows 19th. He's a number of laps down, I think, just racing for sport in this one. But he has rejoined the field after his issues have been taken care of. But Chase Hardy is the guy we got to be talking about. He's up to 4th after starting shotgun on the field.
I will watch this one as they work down the front straightaway. It is still Tucker, Majulis, Wilson, Hardy, Cardwell. Cardwell going to get back into the number 5 spot. Watch him down the back straightaway. The 483 of Jesse Wall working down to the inside. The 80 machine of Dylan Wilson and Davin Cardwell working this. Now look at this. Majulis has got company. Down around the bottom. Watch that 49. We've talked about him. Chase Hardy. We'll see if he's got anything left at the end, or did he use everything up getting to that number 3 spot as they hurry down to turn 1 and 2.
Well, the fact that he's gotten to the 3rd spot is stunning. Even more stunning is we're watching almost the entire field start to roll the bottom here at Fairbury, except for Dylan Wilson, who's up on the cushion. That's not a place you normally see Dylan Wilson, but out in front, still Kendall Tucker, Blake Majulis, Chase Hardy in third. Wilson around the high side looking for something. Cardwell back to the bottom. Then you see Toter and McSwain are side by side. Cannon and Wall tangle. Wall going to lose a bunch of spots. Cannon going to lose a bunch of spots. Out in front, though, your top three still the same as Dylan Wilson looks to the outside of Chase Hardy for third.
They work off with turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Hardy back there is seeing the 80 machine, the 80 machine of Dylan Wilson come to the outside. Now Blake Majulis, you know he is fit for revenge. He wants that top spot back. He saw how Tucker did it. He'll try to keep rolling the bottom, but I think where the bottom is the best is right there off of turn number 2, and Tucker will protect the line as they go side by side there for the number 3 spot.
Yeah, Tucker's got that slider line going through 3 and 4. That seems to be the move, but it's the bottom in 1 and 2. And you can see as we watch side by side, Dylan Wilson finally gets enough of a run to move into third place around Chase Hardy. Hardy going to drop back to 4th. Back there in Davin Cardwell's sights. Cardwell currently rounding out your top 5. As you can see, Kendall Tucker is just content to take away the bottom from Blake Majulis. He runs that slider line, gets a good run off of turn 4 around the outside. Majulis can't quite carry the momentum down the front straightaway and into 1. Majulis gets loose. He's going to save it, but that's going to help Dylan Wilson close the door for second.
So they work him on in there. There you saw it. Majulis had to bind that thing down as the 00 of Kendall Tucker snatched the line away from him. Now he's got some room to make up. As he goes to the top side, he will diamond that thing off of turn number 4 as it's Wilson, Hardy, McSwain, Davin Cardwell working back there behind the 50 or the 23 of Ethan Toter as they hurry on down. Look at this action side by side deeper in the field.
Yeah, we've got some great racing all over the track here in this one. Ethan Toter currently holding down 7th. Out in front, though, we've got a battle shaping up. Majulis has gone to the high side. Tucker still running the slider line through 3 and 4. He's making that stick. He gets such good drive, but Majulis starting to match as now Dylan Wilson has gone to the high side, 37 to go. And we've got a battle for the lead shaping up as two very different philosophies and very different racing lines. Definitely starting to make a contest of this one. Tucker still around the bottom in 1 and 2. Majulis now running a cut down line through 1 and 2 to try to take advantage of some of that moisture around the bottom off of turn 2.
You know, Tia's running the sticks, and she's saying, come on, Balake, it's time to get that thing up there and get it back to the lead, as that's what he's trying to do. Right now, Majulis down around the bottom side. He'll look to the top of the racetrack. He's running both ends of the racetrack in different lines. The top of 3 and 4 is better. Now he'll go to the top, lay that thing up on the curb, see if there's anything to be had. Not anything up there quite yet to work forward, drive down into turn number 3. You got to keep that momentum up as we go on board right now with him. Hustling down into turn number 1 and 2. Lap traffic up and coming. A single lap car right there for your race leader, Tucker. But look at this. Going to wheel that thing now, diamond it down the front straightaway.
Yeah, and Alex Bergeron is not usually the car you're chasing when you say there's one lap car back there alone. But Bergeron has lost touch with the field, and he is back there into the jaws of Kendall Tucker, but not as easy to put away as your typical lap car is Alex Bergeron. Majulis goes back to the bottom. We're still on board. There you see your leaderboard, the top left corner, as we go back to the press box camera here high above the Fairbury American Legion Raceway, and it is Kendall Tucker still leading, and now he has cleared Bergeron off of turn 2. Maybe we'll keep an eye on it. Looks like Bergeron may battle back. He does not. As he blinks just a little bit, keep an eye on that. That could make things a little more difficult for Majulis as Tucker has gotten around Bergeron. He is 1 lap down. As we go back through the field, Chase Hardy now back in 7th, and he may have used his stuff up on that charge through the field as he and Blake Cannon now battle. Hardy going to take 6th spot, now 7th spot back as they tangle back there just outside the top 5.
They'll work him on down there, like you said, and we alluded to that earlier. What did he use it coming to the front, and was it going to give out? And it looks like possibly the setup has gone away. You see Bergeron says, hey, sorry you picked me, Jay Van and Zach Heidebrink, but I'm going to park this one in and watch her from the inside of turn 3 and 4 as it's still Tucker, Majulis, Wilson, McSwain, Cardwell, Cannon, Hardy, Morgan, Yeager, and Toter, your top 10.
Yeah, Toter may have also used his stuff up. He has fallen back just a little bit. Still a great run in the top, just outside the top 10 now, as Evan C. is going to put him back into 12th. They do battle just outside the top 10. Toter has gone to the high side after the bottom had been so good to him for so long. Dylan Yeager up to 9th. We're on board with him watching there as he starts to give chase to Chase Hardy. Devin Morgan has battled his way back through the field. Don't count him out just yet, as we close in on 25 to go in this one. Actually, 20 to go in this one. Just 3 laps away, Jerry. We're in the final stages of the Prairie Dirt Classic, and the show is about to start.
We'll work them on down into turn number 3 and 4. You still see them, like we talked about. Lap traffic is hot and heavy now as they work them back to that 48 machine of Dylan Yeager. Working there to the 112 of Morgan and Chase Hardy. They'll go 3 wide down into turn number 3 and 4. You know, the leaders are going to be coming up on them pretty quickly as they work down into turn 2, down the back straightaway. They still fan it out. A great 4-car battle back there deep in the field.
Absolutely, and as this green flag run goes longer and longer, you are right, Jerry. The leaders will start to catch into the bulk of that lap traffic, as there you see the battle with 20 to go. It is Kendall Tucker still leading. Majulis has not quite found what he needs to make a pass work just yet, but he's got plenty of time to do it. 20 laps here at the Fairbury American Legion Speedway left in the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic presented by LSRTV. We are again inside 20 to go. If you're just joining us, don't know where you've been for the last almost 200 laps of racing, but you got here just in time for the party to really kick off. It's the last 20 at Fairbury. Kendall Tucker leads Blake Majulis, Wilson, McSwain, and Cardwell, your top 5.
You've got a regular Saturday night feature left in this one. Is down the back straightaway still Tucker. Going to keep working the bottom. Majulis has done everything. I mean, he has ripped the kitchen sink off the wall. He's gone to the Home Depot and bought a second one to throw at that 00 of Kendall Tucker. Down into turn number 3 and 4. It'll be Majulis back on the top side. Now he'll diamond it across, come across the slick, trying to look for something. Now he's got to run to the inside. Lap traffic's coming. It is wheel to wheel down the back straightaway for the lead.
Boy, what a battle between those two for the lead. $250 to the winner. If you can win the Falls Frenzy and the Pro Late Models coming up, you get another $250 and $100 bonus. And both of these guys are money hungry. Kendall Tucker would love to hold on to that top spot. Majulis is going to do everything he can. Majulis gets into the wall in turn 3. He's going to look to the inside of Tucker. Tucker opens the door low. We're going to have to see if that cost him as they close in on, I believe, Bud Watson, the next car that they will catch. They're side by side. Tucker has to go to the high side. Majulis to the bottom. Can he make it stick? He can. Blake Majulis takes the lead. Just a few laps to go, Jerry.
Majulis went to the high side. Now it's a crossover move down the back straightaway. Look at that right there, grabbing some gravity in the 127 car. Now Tucker back on the inside. They'll race down into turn number 1 and 2. What a battle for the race lead, and you've got heavy lap traffic coming at you. Majulis still your leader. Tucker running in the number 2 spot. This is going to be the race of the day. Right here as the laps wind down. Now you see Tucker, the front end, washes out just a little bit as Majulis still your leader with heavy lap traffic coming.
Boy, Majulis waited until the perfect moment. Tucker made a little mistake. We're coming to 10 to go, and this is going to be a show to the finish. Majulis starts to pull away just a little bit. He's got to work through lap traffic, though. He's got Jacob Fields back there. He's got Bud Watson back there. He's also seeing Ethan Toder out the front of that 127 machine. Not guys you want to have to tangle with Kendall Tucker breathing down your neck. Majulis is going to get clear of Watson. Tyler Ducharme up on the top side. He's going to get clear of Toder. He runs into the back of Jacob Fields through 1 and 2. Oh, Jerry, here we go.
Lap traffic not giving a darn about what's coming up and behind them. They were trying to wreck each other down the front straightaway last time by. We'll see what happens. Down the back straightaway, it's still going to be that 127 of Blake Majulis, your race leader. Tucker working to the number 2 spot. Wilson, Swain, Cardwell, Cannon. That's your top 6 on the racetrack. They work down into turn number 1 and 2. Lap cars going to stay to the top side. Of course, they're still battling for position. So are first and second of Majulis and Tucker. They'll work there now. Look at it!
Oh,
hang on,
no.
lap cars together. You knew it was coming. The lap cars are not taking care of anything, as they knew the leaders had to be there, and they turned themselves around in front of Blake Majulis. And Majulis, I guarantee, is not going to be happy. Tell you what, watch this. It's just like outside. The leaders are coming on you. Hold your line. Do not crash the guy in front of you. And they do it right in front of your leader and take Majulis out. Man, not what needed to happen here in this one, as Tucker and Majulis had been having a whale of a race. Look at this up the hill. Let's just let it sing, sing, sing. And then, hey, I'm just going to dump you right in front of the leader.
Yeah, Hauser gets into the back of Murray. They collect Blake Majulis, and I believe Majulis will get his spot back. But the question becomes: is there damage on that race car? And that's a whole lot of money. It's $100 difference between $250 for the win and $150 for second. And you got to wonder if Majulis is going to get his spot back after being involved in the caution, and if he is, what kind of damage does he have on that race car? And can Kendall Tucker get around him?
We will find out as this one is we are 5 to go, and hate to see that. I don't care if it's on iRacing or on your local short track stuff, man. When them lap cars get, they became a deciding factor in this one. Unfortunately, we'll have to hopefully see that there's no damage to Majulis' hot rod, as I'm not sure if they had him scored the leader last time or if they scored that lap through. So we'll see how they roll him on. It looks like Tucker going to be top of the pylon there, and should be single file on a restart because under 10, correct?
Not 100% sure. We'll have to see if the field bunches back up or not. But you can see Majulis still rolling around the bottom. We're waiting for word from race control as to what's going to happen there. I'm sure that Kendall Tucker is more than happy to see Majulis not get his spot back. So we're going to have to find out just what is happening in this one as we continue under caution here. Let me see if I can get race control pulled up. And
it's kind of one of those things there, Zach. If this was racing here in the Midwest, Majulis would not get his spot back, unfortunately, because he was the stopped car on the yellow. Now, of course, things work different racing series. Indoor, outdoor, online, outdoors, but I know if this was back at home at Boone or Marshalltown, unfortunately, even though the lap car got him, Majulis was the caution. He would go to the tail, but still waiting to hear how they're going to call this one.
Yeah, we've got a message into race control. We'll see if I can get race director Drew Hopkins to give me an answer. And it looks like, based on the way Majulis just drove through the field, he is back in the pits. He is off the track in this one.
Man.
And that is the answer to the question. You hate to see that. So Kendall Tucker going to inherit the race lead. And I do not envy Blake Majulis right now at all. That is an unfortunate break for him after having such a strong run.
I guarantee if this was an outdoor deal, there'd be somebody getting an old PB&J knuckle sandwich after that deal, because that decided the race, and not the way we wanted to see it happen, as it is Kendall Tucker now. Look at this. Here comes Dylan Wilson up the outside. Does anybody have anything for Kendall Tucker? Laps winding down. Should be looking at 4 to go this time across the stripe.
Yeah, 4 fingers in the air. We come to 4 to go. 5 to go, in this one that we're working for this time by is Tucker. Going to lead another one, McSwain around the high side following Wilson. I don't know if they've got anything for that 00 machine, though, as Tucker has got the bottom of this place figured out, and he looks very fast. But they've still got 3 laps coming this time by, Jerry, to sort this out.
They'll work off at turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Laps winding down in this one. It will see Kendall Tucker, Dylan Wilson, Zach McSwain, Blake Cannon, Devin Morgan, Dylan Yeager, Cardwell, Seawall, and Hardy, your top 4 as they come on down and around. 2 to go. Popsicle sticks in the air.
Popsicle sticks are in the air. We're going to bring it home this time by Jerry. Kendall Tucker out in front. He's got about 4 car lengths on Dylan Wilson. McSwain going to throw a haymaker of a slider up the racetrack. He collects the wall. He might lose more than one spot. Blake Cannon's coming. The white flag is out. Kendall Tucker around the bottom of the racetrack. He's been there all night long. Yes, Jerry.
Kendall Tucker going to ease on into this one. Tucker with the win as he will pick up the 100-lapper here at Fairbury in our super late models. As, man, that was a heck of a race. And we should be seeing our official rundown popping up on the screen here momentarily. But donut shop is open. Cake, baked, or glazed. I don't care what kind of donuts they are. You win a 100-lapper here at Fairbury, and I guarantee you can serve them up any way you like.
Absolutely, you can. A very impressive run. Good chunk of the field still on track. It looks like Tucker going to take it to the scales and then park it in victory lane there. Here at Fairbury, what a race in the Prairie Dirt Classic. Folks, we've got victory lane interviews coming up in just a couple of minutes. with Kendall Tucker as well as the other podium finishers. And then we've got another big race coming up. Here's your official results. It's Kendall Tucker and Dylan Wilson coming home 1 and 2. Zach McSwain in third. Cannon fourth. Devin Morgan for VLR rounds out your top 5.
Looking at 6 on back through your top 10. Davin Cardwell 6th. 7th is Dylan Yeager. Jesse Wall rolling off 8th. 9th is Evan C. And had that great run from the tail up to 3rd, but faded back to 10th. Chase Hardy.
Blake Murray in the 79 comes home in 11th. Dylan Hauser 12th. Tyler Ducharme in the 77 13th. Jacob Fields and Ethan Toder round out your top 15.
Looking at the rest of the field, Bud Watson, Blake Majulis, the heartbreak of the night. Alex Bergeron, Ryan Underwood, there's another heartbreaker, glitched out. Dixon Slinger, unfortunately, like my problems getting in here tonight, technology let us down for the final 2 spots.
All right, we've got Kendall Tucker in victory lane here at Fairbury. And Kendall, I want to take you back. You lost the lead there with about 20 to go. Did you think you would have gotten back by Majulis without the little bit of help that you got in the misfortune with Hauser and Murray there?
I mean, we just, whenever he got by us right there, we was kind of chasing the track a little bit. It was, I went through a pretty big change right there, and I was having to run a bunch of different lines to try to adjust, and he found a line that was a little bit quicker to get by me, but found that bottom in 3 and 4 a little bit better, and we reeled him back in. I mean, we was right there behind him whenever the wreck and lap traffic happened, so I'm just glad I was able to check up in time and miss it, but, this thing, it was hooked up all night long for the most part. We just, got knocked around there early by a couple guys, but it's pretty typical, racing with some of these guys, you know what to expect. But we just kind of settled in right there around the halfway point of the race, got to the bottom where we were set up to run, and we took off from there and got up to the lead. And I just hate that happened to Blake, but it's just part of it.
Absolutely. Elbows up racing at Fairbury. You never know what's going to happen. So you're standing here in victory lane, $250 richer. You've got an opportunity to a little more than double your money coming up in the Falls Frenzy. You set the car up for the bottom of the racetrack. Were you a little worried when the top started to come in at all?
I mean, honestly, this was the first race that I've ran here since they've moved the tires in. So, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect. Just last couple of days, I've hopped in a couple practice servers, and the bottom has been pretty good for the most part. And I was just honestly surprised it came in 3 and 4 like it did. But I'm glad the car was set up good enough to run down there, because it didn't feel as good up top for sure. But I kind of expected that, and just was kind of trying to hang on early in the race, running up there on the top. So just once I figured the track was slick enough, to get down there on the bottom and make some moves, we went to the front pretty quick.
Absolutely, you did. Well, there's a big winner's check coming your way there to Mount Airy, North Carolina from Team BDR. Any sponsors you want to thank for getting you to victory lane, the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic?
Yeah, I just got to thank my guys at Swindell Speed Lab and Slick Sim Sport, for all the help. This was just old pro setup we ran here, and it was pretty good then. And didn't really know what to expect, honestly, with the tires being moved in, but it's still pretty fast. So that's pretty good news. First late model race I've ran here in probably 2 months. So to hop in here and beat these guys who run these all the time is a pretty big deal. So I just can't thank them guys enough for the speed, and I got to thank K1 Race Gear, Bell Helmet, South Bay Partners, HMS Motorsport Racing Electronics, and ML Performance. And thanks to all the guys at the Kentucky Dirt League for putting it on. We'll hop in this next race here and hopefully find a fast setup. Don't run the Pro Late models much, so we might be scratching our heads in that one. But was able to come in here and get the money on this one, so that's all that matters.
Well, Kendall Tucker, your winner in the inaugural Kentucky Dirt iRacing League Prairie Dirt Classic from Fairbury American Legion Speedway. Big congratulations go out to that number 00 machine, as we've got your runner-up, Dylan Wilson, along with Jerry Van Sickle.
Dylan, what a run tonight, kind of back through. You guys were working 2 and 3 wide early on this deal, and then unfortunate's come to Majulis, and you inherited that number 2 spot. Got to feel pretty good coming home runner-up here tonight.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Jerry? I didn't even know you were on the mic. That's cool. I'm watching it now. That'd be cool. Yeah, it was a good race. The car was really good, middle part of the race, and faded late, and still squeaked out a second, so can't really complain there for a bad night being in second place.
Yeah, I mean, second place ain't a bad deal with the caliber of guys you were racing with tonight. Seen you here the last couple times we've been with the late models, whether it be on the pro side or on the supers. Talk us through these supers. What I know because you kind of jump back and forth. Is there a lot of change, a lot of difference in these two cars?
Yeah, just the power. One of them you can run the bottom like Kendall showed. I've actually never ever seen a race that was one on the bottom here, so that was really really cool to see. And the track seems to race really well now. I haven't raced this track in months. It feels like so to see that is really cool. So congrats to Kendall, man. He ran a flawless race, all laps on the bottom right there to win. So, but yeah, the pros seem like you have to keep it up around the top, but I would have never said that you could win a race on the bottom, and Kendall showed that you can. So, and the pro late models wouldn't surprise if somebody else is able to make the bottom work too.
We're gonna see you you jumping back in for that pro deal, or are you just in for the supers tonight?
I'll be here for both. We actually feel better about the pro late model setups and deal we got for the race. So we'll see. Hopefully Blake a little bit better luck, and I can finish a couple spots better, and we can all race it out and have a good time.
Well, there you go. We'll let you get headed back and get things into that server and get things ready for the pro late models coming up next. Take some time. Got some names on the car, some names that help you out. Who do you want to thank for the win?
There's always somebody in the background. Thanks to Mimi's Makings in Motion for their sponsorship for this year or the season that we're running right now. And thanks to D1RT Racing, as always, and the guys over there. They put in a lot of work for this deal. I appreciate all the help from them guys. And thanks to you guys for broadcasting. And thanks to Drew Hopkins, Stephen McMillan, all the guys behind this, putting this deal on, Stephen Calavoda. Thank you for everything they do behind the scenes for us.
All right. Well, we'll let you get this thing pushed off. We'll see you back for the pros in the next here shortly.
All right. Thanks, Jerry.
You bet. Dylan Wilson there with a great run there to the number 2 spot. And Zach, I think you got the rest of our podium standing next to you.
Absolutely, here with another Zach, an extra consonant involved for Mr. McSwain, but good run for you. Up to third in this one in that 25 machine. Definitely a one you had to earn for sure.
Yeah, it was a pretty good run for us. Just tried to stay patient there in the early part of the race. A lot of those guys were pretty good on the bottom, but we were just set up for the long run. A little too tight to run the bottom there, so we just stuck with the top, fell back to like 8th or 10th or so at the beginning, and started picking them off there. Got to a couple of those wrecks, and brung it home third, so we'll take it.
Absolutely, a great run for you again. Good to see you back on the podium here in the Kentucky Dirt iRacing League. Don't want to rush you out of here, but I know you got the pro late model race coming up. I assume you're going to be unloading that car and getting ready to go racing again?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, I'll let you thank your sponsors. We'll get you back to the trailer so you can get that car ready here in just a few minutes. Again, 9:30 will be the start time for that Eastern. So give us a run through the sponsors on that 25 machine, Zach.
Yeah, just thank Speed Connection, Big Al's Guns, Midwest Paint. Thank Alex Payne, Speed Style Graphics for the paint. Looks great. Just thank all the guys at D12. Dylan Hauser, we really put in a lot of work here the last couple of days testing for this race, and glad it could show tonight. And hopefully we can do it again in the Pro Late Models. Just thank y'all for the broadcast, and thank Drew for putting on the race.
Absolutely. Zach McSwain wraps up the podium. He comes home in the bronze medal spot of third. Your Mud Duck Racing Hard Charger taking $25 tonight is Chase Hardy in that 49 for HRE. Dylan Yeager also picked up 10 spots. We'll have to figure out exactly how they're going to hand that award out. Drew Hopkins did give me Chase Hardy's name, so that's what I know officially. But that is currently the information we have at this time. I'm going to step out of the booth and let my main man Brett Wheeler take over along with Jerry Van Sickle for the second portion, the Falls Frenzy and the Pro Late Models presented by Warrior Logistics, coming up again at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Jerry, anything else you got to say, my man? Jerry's muted. He's gone. I guess that's it for me. Thanks again for sticking around and tuning in. Oh, he's back. He's back. Jerry, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, no, it was great. Zach had fun here tonight, and that was a blast, and that was a great race. And like you said, there's always something. I don't, talking to Dustin Jarrett and Ben Shelton, who good friends with on the announcing side that they said, man, you got to get to Fairbury because anything can happen. And we saw that happen here tonight in the Supers, that anything can happen, whether it's good or bad. It's good for one, bad for the other, but it was a great show out of that 100-lap feature.
Again, in another show coming up in just a few minutes. For Jerry Van Sickle, I am Zach Newton. Always thankful for Brett Wheeler in the production trailer, Drew Hopkins, and everybody at Kentucky Dirt iRacing League. Great show. Can't wait for the next one. We'll see you back here 9:30 for the Warrior Logistics Falls Frenzy. The Pro Late Models coming up in just a few minutes. Have a good night. Be safe.